Worth, you want to come on down? Obviously, there were a lot of questions about traffic, so I'd like to have our Public Works Director answer some questions on that topic. And I will say I appreciated that our Airport Director, Gary Mascara, answered the questions. It shows that the system works. When the Airport Commission voted 07, we made changes. So that's how city governments work. So, Mr. Worth, this is a large parcel on a freeway, and that will be developed. Can you speak to the changes that were made for this project, and also speculate, perhaps, that the traffic, is this going to impact traffic more than any other allowable development there? Go ahead.
Mayor, Councilman Whitehead, we had the developer perform a traffic impact mitigation analysis standard for developments to take a look at what their additional traffic would do to the surrounding road network. That analysis looked at traffic internal to the site and external to the site. External, they looked at 2 freeway interchanges, the 101 and Hayden, the 101 and Pima Princess, and they looked at 7 separate intersections. The intersections are the key when we're looking at the additional demand put on the network. They looked at 7 different intersections on Hayden Road, Princess, and Perimeter. And the analysis, and what we do, what the analysis does, it looks at what we call level of service. It basically puts a number or a letter from A through F on each intersection. Our goal is to have it better than F. And it's based on the amount of time that you're delayed when you're sitting at the intersection. And based on their analysis, and they looked 6 years into the future, we had them look not just at the year after they open, but at 2030 to take a look at more long-term impacts. We had them look at the existing traffic plus what they were going to add, but we also had them look at the existing traffic plus whatever growth we expect to have in traffic if they're not doing anything, plus the growth in traffic from 5 other developments to include their own phase 1. So we had them account for everything we know that's future development in that area and look at all the traffic that are going to be contributed by all those developments on those streets that I mentioned. And they ran models. We verified the data. We agreed with the data they used. They determined what the level of service was going to be for each of those intersections. And in 2 cases where we had level of service that didn't meet our standards, they proposed mitigation. They proposed improvements, which are now stipulated. The improvements that they propose are primarily on Hayden Road. We're going to have them build an additional northbound lane on Hayden from Axon Way, from the entrance to their development up to the freeway. We're going to have them, well, they're proposing a second left turn lane onto the westbound 101 ramps on Hayden. We're still analyzing that with ADOT. We got to get ADOT to agree with whatever we do. We may take a slightly different approach, but they're going to have to build it whichever way we go. And they're proposing a 2 left turn entrance southbound from the freeway into their development at Axon Road. Those are the major improvements, and when you take those improvements into consideration, instead of having a level of service of F at the Hayden interchange, it's a D, and we do it for peak hour in the morning, peak hour in the evening. So it improves it, meets our standard, makes it acceptable. Every other intersection is either as good as or better than if they didn't build a development per the analysis. So
Okay, so I just want to jump in because everybody gets startled by the D, because if you get a D in college, as Mr. Worth told me, you get in trouble. So, Mr. Worth, can you tell us about a D in transportation engineering? Is it common, and what does it mean?
It's very common. So the level of service, as I mentioned, is based on the amount of time that you're delayed in an intersection because of the traffic control, the signals. And F, which we're trying to avoid, is an 80-second delay. Most of the signals have a 120-second cycle. So from the time the light turns green in front of you, through that green cycle, through all the red cycle, and the time that it turns green again, it's 120 seconds. So level of service F with an 80-second delay, you're still not going to wait for 2 cycles. You're going to get through on the first green light. Now, level of service F could be a lot worse than that, but level of service D, you're definitely getting through on the first green light. You're waiting at a level of service D between 35 and 55 seconds on the average.
Okay, thank you.